Indonesia. So he died in 1757, but he was not buried here. He was sent back to his country to be buried by his son. The building, it shows the relationship between the island and the Muslim religion. The maximum security prison on your right hand side. There was stories that were happening inside the prison during the apartheid. The leper graveyard on your right hand side. So you can, if you can look fast straight, we have some 4 springboks. I don't know if you can see them. The leper graveyard, it have 1,200 graves. They are under the bushes. Some of the graves under the maximum security prison during the 1800s and the early 1900s suffered with certain disease. They were dumped here on the island to die here. Those diseases were chronic, mental, and the leprosy people. So as for the graves which are on your right hand side are for people who suffered with a leprosy. A leprosy, it was a disease and the skin of the person was left untreated, it will do a permanent damage. So those people were damaged, they did not proceed more. So in 19, the cure for the disease, it was stands to 2 years.
All right, y'all, I'm checking in. Once again, I just wanted to go live a little bit, let y'all kind of see, what's going on. Yeah, we live, so just checking in, let y'all learn a few things while we're here. Yeah, we have good connection. Hey, let me know in the chat if y'all here. I don't see no chats going on. Yeah, give me a 1 if you hit here. It's pretty good. Give me a 1 if you can. I know it's early. It's very, very early. But anyway, y'all heard. Let me turn this.
The Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe house, which is on your left-hand side. Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe, he was one of the legends of South Africa, just like Nelson Mandela was. But the only difference about him, he was not well known like Nelson Mandela. So I'll tell you a short history about Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. He was born on the 5th of December in 1924. He was born here in South Africa on a small town that is Graaff-Reinet in Eastern Cape. He then furthered his studies at the University of Fort Hare in 1947, which was the only university during that time that could accommodate black people. In the year 1948 here in South Africa, it was a year whereby apartheid was formally introduced. So he joined the ANC. But as the time goes by, Robert Sobukwe left ANC. He became the newspaper editor that was Africanist in Johannesburg. In 1959, Robert Sobukwe and the other 3 members, they formed a new political organization that is Pan-Africanist Congress, which is PAC. On the same year, they elected Sobukwe to be the president of the PAC. So on the 21st of March 1960, Robert Sobukwe led a march against the past laws. During that time here in South Africa, there was a law. The name of that law, it was a dom pass. Dom, it is a Afrikaans word that means stupid in English. So black people here in South Africa, they were required to carry a stupid book everywhere they go. They were only allowed to be outside from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And if they were caught by the police not having their stupid books in their hands, they will be given a fine of a 6 rand, which they knew during that time. Black people here in South Africa could not afford to pay a 6 rand fine. So that means they will be arrested in prison from 3 months to 6 months. As for Robert Sobukwe, he was against of that law of carrying a stupid book everywhere you go. So on the 21st of March in 1960, Robert Sobukwe informed all the black people here in South Africa to leave their stupid books at home, then to go to their nearest police stations and ask the police to arrest them. So on that day, there were thousands of black people who went to the police stations. Police stations were overcrowded and the police couldn't take it. They then decided to shoot all the black people who were there. It was not only to shoot, but it was shoot to kill. So on that day, there were more than 69 people who were shot and killed. Over 180 of them, they were shot injured. That day, it was called a Sharpeville massacre, and Robert Sobukwe was arrested because of the march that he led. So he was kept in Pretoria prison for 3 years, from 1960 to 1963. On the year 1963, when they were supposed to release Sobukwe in Pretoria, they decided not to let him free. So they held a special meeting in Parliament just for Sobukwe, where they made a special clause for him that was to be renewed every year. It was called a Sobukwe clause. So they brought him here on Robben Island. So on your left-hand side, this first house with a water barrel next to it, that's where they kept Mr. Sobukwe. When they brought Sobukwe here, they said he will not be treated like any other political prisoners. As for the other political prisoners, like Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Jacob Zuma, and the other prisoners, they were kept at the maximum security prison. But as for Sobukwe, he was isolated. He was kept on that house alone. He was not given a uniform like the other political prisoners, so he was able to wear his own civilian clothes. Robert was, even those prison guards, they were not allowed to talk with Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. So after 4 years, Sobukwe was kept here. That was in 1967. They saw that Sobukwe had some healthy issues. So that allowed and his kids, they were only allowed to come and visit him during school holidays for only 30 minutes a day. They also allowed him papers every day and to listen to the radio anytime. Reason being, they wanted to torture him because they knew that every information he will get from the radio or in the newspaper, he will not be able to share it with anyone. So they knew that information, it will torture Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. In 1969, his health issues became worse, and that's when they decided to take him out of Robben Island because they were afraid of being held responsible of Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe's death. So they transferred him to Kimberley. There in Kimberley, they also kept him on a house arrest where they watched him 24 hours. So the only time Sobukwe was able to find his peace, it was when he died on the 27th of February in 1978. So that was a short history of Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. He died at the age of 54 years. If you can look again at the Sobukwe complex, just in front of his house, the smaller houses you see with a butler, those houses are not the prison cells. They are shepherd dogs who were brought at the island, prisoners who were kept at the maximum security prison. There are two books that I would like to recommend for you if you'd like to read more about Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. The first one, it says, "How can a man die better?" And the second one, it says, "The world is ours." So far, ladies and gentlemen, are we still together?
Yeah.
Are you?
Oh, okay.
I went to pay the hospital.
Yeah, anyway, so y'all, I mean, the sister's doing a good job, you know, giving us the information, you know, letting us see, you know, what's up, what's going on. So, yeah, man, I was hoping to get some good signal out there, you know, that way at least y'all can see a little bit what I'm seeing, you know, on the screen, or at least hearing it, you know, in real time. But, you know, I'll be quiet once sis starts speaking again and everything. So, here she goes.
The limestone quarry on your left-hand side. Here at the limestone quarry, that is where the ex-political prisoners of different organizations practice their hard work. When they started to work here at the quarry, it was in the early 1960s. They were promised to work for only 6 months, which it turned to 13 and a half years. At the beginning, there was no reason for prisoners to work here, but they were just trying to keep them busy. So prisoners worked here for 5 days a week, for 48 hours a day. They knew when they are going back to the prison in the evening, prisoners will be tired. They won't have much time to discuss politics. And while prisoners worked here, they were not given any protected gear. For instance, if it was hot, they were supposed to be given goggles or sunglasses to protect their eyes. But the prison guards would say it's not part of their uniform. The limestone quarry is on your left-hand side, just in front, but you have a clear view of the quarry when the bus in front of us have moved. On the year 1990, when Nelson Mandela was released in prison, he had to go for the eye operation because his eyes were always teary, as if he was crying every time. His eyes were damaged while he was working here at the quarry for 13 and a half years, given nothing to protect his eyes. even other ex-political prisoners. Some of them died, and some of them they are still suffering with a lung cancer through the dust they got from the limestone quarry. The limestone quarry on your left hand side, if you can take a look at the middle, there is a small cave. Can you all see the cave? That cave, prisoners were supposed to use it during their lunchtime while they were eating. They were supposed to sit there and eat as fast as possible. On the same cave, there were two buckets. Those bucket prisoners were supposed to use them as their toilet, as they were not allowed to go around the bushes whenever they want to use a toilet. But as the time goes by, prisoners talk to each other to use a toilet only in the morning when they are leaving the prison, because it was impossible for them to use a same place to eat and also a same place as their toilet. So they decided to use the cave only during their lunchtime while they were eating. They even named it as a University of Life. Most of the political prisoners, they were educated, and there were some who were not educated, who could not even write their names. So during their lunchtime, while they were sitting at the cave, they were encouraging each other to further with their studies and also teach the ones who could not even write their names. And there was a slogan that comes out through the cave, which says, each one, teach one. At the entrance of the limestone quarry, there is a pile of stones. Those stones, they were made on the 11th of February in 1995. It was a year after Nelson Mandela was elected to be a president of South Africa in 1994. So in 1995, he came here at the island together with the other ex-political prisoners. There were about 1,000 of them. When they were here at the quarry, Nelson Mandela excused himself to the group of ex-political prisoners. He then took a stone around the quarry. He put where you see the pile of stones. So as the other ex-political prisoners, each one took their stone and they followed Nelson Mandela. They made that pile of stones. They named it in Xhosa as Isivivane Solwazi. In English, it is a monument of remembrance. And now we are going to the village of Robben Island.
That's messed up, man. Y'all hear that? Y'all want y'all to hear that. So, yeah, y'all enjoying the content and everything, you know. Drop a love off of it. You know, we can use that. You know, doing it, getting y'all the information. You know, how, when I found out since I've been out here, these white supremacists are the same no matter where they go. No matter what. So, hope everything going good with y'all. Everything going good. We just ride to the next spot. I was hoping they'd say, okay, we'll get some good signal out here, but so far so good. Driving down the Mini, right, bro. Yeah, man, that's what I was trying to tell a lot of brothers and sisters. But you understand, Ricardo, is that propaganda's a mug, man. I met this sister earlier, and them folks was telling her don't go to Johannesburg, and, you know, trying to scare her. But that's the best city ever, you know, to me. That's just how I am. So, anytime them folks are telling y'all to stay away from something, or, you know, oh, be careful with this, that's the last thing you know, getting any information from them people, especially about our own, you know, because You know how it is. We know how it is.
In 1895. So if you can still remember when I was talking about the leprosy, 1846 to 1931, after the leprosy colony here at Robben Island, all the buildings that were here, they were demolished because they feared they still had the disease. But Church of the Good Shepherd, it is the only building that is still here because it is the only private property here at Robben Island. It was designed by Sir Herbert Baker, the same person who designed Union buildings in Pretoria. It is still a private property. It is owned by the South African Anglican Church. There is another building that is coming up on your left-hand side. It was one of the prisons we had here, a convict prison, where they kept common law prisoners only, except for the political prisoners, as they were kept at the maximum security prison. So in 1996, all the criminal prisoners who were kept here, they were transferred to the prisons that are in Cape Town, as Robben is no longer a prison. The last political prisoners, they were released in 1991. That was a year after Nelson Mandela was released in prison in 1990. Welcome to the village of Robben Island. This place was occupied by the prison guards and their families only during the apartheid time. Prisoners, they were not allowed to come on this side of the island. But in our days, we have a population of 200 people who are staying here. They are working for Robben Island Museum. They include management, maintenance staff. Some of them, they are ex-political prisoners. And the white structure that is on your right-hand side, it is a garrison church. In our days, we use it as a wedding church. So every year on the 14th of February, we have some couples who come here and get married. But in the past 2 years, we did not have any weddings here at the island because of the coronavirus pandemic.
Y'all saw that comment y'all made about the sky. Yeah,
We had a primary school of Robben Island. The school operated until 2011. Department of Education requested a school to be closed because there were few over the ocean. The town, it is below the 7 kilometers away from here. The structure on your left-hand side with a red roof, it was once used as a governor's house during the apartheid time. But now we use it as a VIP guest house. Cape Town is ahead of us. It's 7 kilometers away from the island. And now we are going to Alpha One, that was once used as a radio station during the apartheid time. But now we use the place as a refreshment station whereby you can buy yourself drinks, coffee, and some snacks. You will also be able to take some pictures. At Alpha One, I'll give you 10 minutes. When you are coming back, please come back to avoid any arguments. Around the Alpha One place, No one is allowed to take or pick up, because we are trying to keep this place as natural as it is for the future generation. When you are taking pictures, please do not cross the fenced areas.
All right. Ooh. All right. Good deal. All right, I want y'all to see that real quick. See that out there? Informing a lot of people right now. You just don't know how many you're informing.
Thank you. That was very informative.
Thank you.
One question, because I remember when I was here the last time, they mentioned that in the lime quarry, they also use it to smuggle messages on and off the island.
Yes, they use the paper cement
Yes.
bags to
smuggle.
write on them, yes.
Okay. No, I was just hoping I didn't get it wrong. Thank you.
So how long you been doing the tour?
For 4 years now.
4 years now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, some good information. Like you said, because a lot of people let me know over here.
Oh, wow.
You know, yeah, because I have a channel and
okay.
everything, so that's what we love to know. Because my main thing is a lot of black Americans
Yes.
been told, oh, stay away from Africa. You know, and unfortunately, it comes from the miseducation,
Yes,
of
that's
the
true.
white man, and that's why I just want to show them that we got some of the same issues, same stories, from Jim Crow to segregation, and then you look at what apartheid is, literally mirrors what we was dealing with,
That's
in
true.
America, same thing. So, yeah, everybody's saying you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm gonna walk over here. Now, the thing I want to let y'all know is this. You see what I'm talking about? Now, y'all always arguing about Africa. Some of y'all, not a lot of you, but some people always arguing. But yet, I'm gonna pan the camera around. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? But some of y'all want to argue about not coming, and the opportunities is too big not to come. And from what I've been hearing, I want y'all back there, right there off of the water. See the mountains back there. Let's see if I can zoom in. I don't think, can I zoom in? I actually can. Okay. So I could hopefully zoom in. You can see some of the mountains back there, the clouds. Yeah, just all that. Let me zoom back out if I can. Okay. So yeah, all these people out here to come see, and they keep asking me every time. They say, hey, where's the black Americans at home? Let me take this mask off. I know I had to have it in the thing. Take this thing out. Probably gonna put my shades on too, so give me a second. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing this in real time. Hold on. All right. Now I can see a lot better. Yeah, that sun is out. It's a very, very pretty day. If you look at just look at the sky itself though. All out there. I'm gonna go back to live chat. All right. You see, hope y'all didn't cry there. Well, I think Hector Peterson was really, really upsetting for me because of what the folks are doing. But it's good to go a little bit, let y'all kind of see what I'm looking at, let us connect at times. I saw some of y'all say y'all didn't get notifications. That's them folks doing that, like I said, I've learned, a long time ago, they be trying to suppress information. Now if I was up here talking about, hate the black man, hate the black woman, and that. But, so I'm gonna have to get to work here. Obviously, I'm seeing that I'll get to work because Brother Free about to get on me. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and go because I'm about to get to work.
Talking about you already.
Yeah, people talking about it already. So let me go ahead and go. All right, because he getting on to me.
You come back after the break.
Yeah, I come back after the break. Yeah, no, I won't come back after the break. I promise you that. I got other work to do. But let me go ahead and go, y'all. See, I'll be easy.